In this video, you're going to learn how to use the substitution method to solve systems of linear equations. We're going to be going through 6 examples together, and I'm going to show you how to work with these problems, some pitfalls to avoid, and we're going to get some practice. Before I do that, I want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Brilliant.org. Brilliant is an awesome educational app to help you learn math as well as other subjects as well. And at the end of this video, I'm going to have a special code for you so that you can get a discount on their premium membership. And I'm going to show you how I'm using this app and how you can learn and benefit from it too. Let's dive into this video. The first example is y equals 2x minus 3 and 2x minus 3y equals negative 7. And these represent lines, and we're trying to find out where those lines cross or intersect. And so the way that we do that is we look at these equations and we want to solve for either the x or the y. You want to get one of the variables by itself on one side of the equal sign. In this case, we already have y by itself here, and we know that it equals this quantity, 2x minus 3. What we're going to do is we're going to put that in place of y in this other equation. So it's just like a substitute teacher, like if your math teacher isn't there, a substitute shows up, right? And you switch them. So what we're going to do is instead of this y, we're going to replace it with what y equals, and in this case it's 2x minus 3. So everything else about the equation stays the same. You're just replacing that with y with what it equals. Now we have one equation with just one variable, so we can go ahead and solve that equation for x. So the way we do that is we're going to distribute this negative 3. Make sure you capture the negative. That's going to give us negative 6x. A negative 3 times a negative 3 is positive 9. Let's bring down the 2x. And now you know what to do. You've solved these equations before in the past. We're just going to simplify here a little bit by combining like terms. We're going to get the variables on one side, numbers on the other side. And we're going to divide by negative 4 to get x by itself. And you can see x is coming out to positive 4. Now we want to take that 4, you can plug it back into x here or x here. I'm going to do this top equation. I think it's going to be a little bit easier since y is already by itself. So y equals 2 times 4 minus 3. So 2 times 4 is 8, and 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. And so now you can see we have x equals 4, y equals 5. We want to write this as a coordinate. That's where the two lines are going to intersect. Now if you want to check your work, you can always take this, plug it back in, make sure that it makes both of the equations true, and you can verify you've got the right answer. So let's take a look at another example. Let's look at number 2 now. If you want to try this one on your own, go ahead. Notice in this case, what's a little bit different about this problem is now we have x by itself. Here we had y by itself. So when you know that x is equal to this quantity here, we can use that substitution method. We can say, let's go ahead and put this in place of x here. Now, sometimes students in a little bit of their beginning stages, they'll say, well, accidentally put it in for the y variable. That's not going to work. You're going to get the wrong answer. It's not going to work out for you. The idea is you're trying to say x is equal to this quantity. Instead of x, let's put that in its place, and that'll allow us to have one equation with just one variable, and then we can solve it. So let's go ahead and do this one. So we have 3 times 2y minus 1 plus y equals 11. The other mistake students sometimes make is they forget to kind of carry some of this other quantities here forward in the equation. They're so focused on the substitution, you want to make sure that everything else is the same. We're just replacing x with what x is equal to here. Okay, now it's just like a regular equation. We're going to go ahead and solve by simplifying. We've got combining like terms, that's 7y. Add 3 to both sides. So we have 7y is equal to 14. Divide both sides by 7, and we get y equals 2. Now we can take that 2, we can plug it back in for y here, or we can plug it for y here. The mistake that students sometimes make is they put it in for x instead of y. We solve for y, so it's definitely got to go into the y variable. I'm going to do this bottom equation since x is already by itself. It's going to be a little bit easier, so x equals 2 times y is 2 minus 1. So that comes out to 4 minus 1, which is 3. And now when we write our final answer, we want to write it as a coordinate, x comma y, so 3 comma 2. So let me erase the whiteboard. I want to show you some more challenging examples, so let's do that next. Okay, let's take a look at number 3 and 4. So for number 3, we don't have y equals something or x equals something. We don't have one of those variables by itself. So what we want to do is we want to isolate or get one of those variables by itself on one side of the equal sign. So should we get this x by itself, or this y, or this x, or this y? Well, the easiest one to get together, to get by itself is the one that has a leading coefficient of 1. And the reason is if I try to solve for this x right here, I'm going to end up having to divide by 5. I'm going to have fractions. Nothing wrong with fractions, it's just going to be a little bit more challenging to work with. So if you can, try to isolate either this x, this y, this x, or this y, but the one that has a 1 in front of it, or a -1, it'll be easier to get that by itself without having fractions. So in this case, let's rearrange this first equation by subtracting 5x from both sides. If we do that, that's going to be y equals -5x plus 3. Whenever you move something from one side to the other, that sign is going to change to the opposite. We're just subtracting the 5x. Okay, now look at what we have. We have y equals -5x plus 3. We want to put that in place of y in the other equation that we haven't used yet. Mistake students sometimes make, unintentionally, they put it back into the same equation they were just working with. That's not going to yield the results that we want. So make sure you put it into the other equation that you haven't used. And now let's go just like the first couple examples, 6x minus 3 times what y equals, which is -5x plus 3, equals 12. Okay, let's go ahead and solve this equation. Distribute the -3. That's going to give us 15x minus 9. Bring down the 6x. Be careful with the signs. Minus is like a -3, so negative times a negative is a positive. A negative times a positive is a negative. And then now we're going to combine like terms. This is going to be 21x. We're going to add 9 to both sides. Get the variables on one side, numbers on the other. Divide by 21, and you can see that x is coming out to 1. Now we want to take that 1, we can put it back in for x here, here, or here. This is going to be our best bet because we already have y by itself. You get the same answer if you put it into one of the other equations, so you don't have to worry about making a mistake there, but it's just going to be a little bit easier since we already have y by itself. So we've got -5 times 1 is -5, and -5 plus 3 is -2. We want to write it as a coordinate, always in alphabetical order, x comma y. This is where those two lines would cross or intersect. And again, if you want to check your work, put it back into this equation, you should get 3. Put it back into this equation, you should get 12. You can verify that's the correct answer. Okay, so now you're a little bit more experienced, so why don't you try number 4 on your own? We'll go through it together, of course. Which variable would you try to solve for here? Would it be this x, this y, this x, or this y? Well, if I was going to do it, I would go for this y because it's already, it just has a coefficient of 1. It's going to be easy to isolate. I just have to add 3x to the other side, giving us y equals 3x plus 4. Now we know what y equals. Where do we put it? This y or this y? This top one, right? Because that's the equation we haven't worked with yet. So we have 6x minus 2. Instead of y, we're going to put what y equals. That's 3x plus 4. And that's going to equal 2. All right, so now we just have one variable, one equation. How do we solve it? Just like normal, simplify first. 6x minus 6x is 0, so this is -8 equals 2. Okay, now what happened there? Our variables just completely canceled out. So you're going to get a special case like this occasionally where this represents no solution. -8 cannot be 2, so no matter what happens, you're not going to have a solution. Now, if I was to get like 0 equals 0 or 2 equals 2, that's always true. Then it means we have infinitely many solutions. What this represents here when there's no solutions is that these two lines are actually parallel and they'll just never cross, they'll never intersect. Whereas if we got 0 equals 0, they're the same line, so they're crossing at all the points along those two lines. So let me erase the whiteboard. We're going to do 2 more examples together, and then I want to share a little bit about Brilliant with you. Okay, go ahead and try these last 2 examples on your own so you can get some more practice and experience with mastering the substitution method, and we'll go through them together, of course. So number 5, how would you tackle this problem? Go ahead and pause the video, see if you can do this one. Well, if I was going to do this, remember I want to zero in on one of the variables that I want to isolate or solve for. And in this case, the easiest one to get by itself would be this x here because it has a coefficient of 1. So I'm just going to subtract the 3y, and that's going to give us x equals -3y. I'm going to take the -3y, I'm going to put it in place of x in that first equation. So that's 2 times -3y minus 7y equals 13. Another mistake students sometimes make is they don't put it in parentheses. You want to put it in parentheses to treat it as a group because sometimes you're going to have to distribute, so you want to take it as a quantity, as a group. So now we're going to simplify. We get -13y equals 13, and if we divide both sides by -13, y comes out to -1. Now we can put that -1 in for y here, here, Or here, let's do this one. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. So our final answer is going to be 3 comma negative 1. That's where the two lines cross, alphabetical order, x comma y. Okay, so try number 6. What would you do on number 6? How would you solve that one? Go ahead and pause the video. If I was going to do it, this one's actually ready to go. It's ready-made for substitution because we already have y by itself. Y equals this quantity here. So I can put that in place of y in the second equation. Again, remember to put it in parentheses so you treat it like a group. And then let's distribute this negative into the parentheses. That's going to give us positive 1, positive x, bring down this negative x plus positive x. Those cancel, that's 0. And look what we're getting. We're getting 1 equals 1. What does that tell us when the variables cancel out? You want to analyze this. Is this always true or is it never true? 1 is always equal to 1. This tells us that there's infinitely many solutions. So you could write infinitely many solutions or all real numbers or something to that effect. So great job if you're able to follow this video. Now I want to share with you why I'm loving Brilliant and why you're going to love it too. Brilliant helps you excel in math as well as computer science with visual, interactive problem solving and personalized practice. What I like about Brilliant is it helps you learn more effectively in so many different ways. Many problems you can slide interactive components of diagrams to see how it affects the problems in real time. And also because Brilliant is constantly quizzing you along your learning journey, you're reinforcing what you're learning. So if you make a mistake, it explains the answer to you in real time. So I love Brilliant. It gamifies learning. It gives you points and keys and you're in different leagues and it encourages you to keep learning daily. Matter of fact, I've got a streak right now going with Brilliant. I'm on 26 days in their calculus course. Scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description and Brilliant is giving our viewers 20% off an annual premium subscription which gives you unlimited daily access to everything on Brilliant. All their courses, brilliant.org. Check out the link in the description.